Hello and welcome back to another Rise of Empires Ice and Fire video with me, Mr. Gill. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for all of your previous views, likes, comments, suggestions, subscriptions and all of that jazz. I absolutely and positively adore you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, with a new season of Reign of Chaos comes new seasonal heroes. Today we are talking about Season 4 heroes. Now, as always, we will do this using what I call the system. The system is a way I just use to kind of work out which I think are the best heroes available in each season. Basically, we're going to look at each hero and the type of troop they are leading. If it's any troop at all, they could be general heroes. We're also going to look at their range, so you know whether they should be in first, second or third position, how far they can reach into the enemy's attack lines. We're going to also look at their skills, obviously, and see if there's anything special in there, anybody's got something unique that is not seen in any other heroes, and then we're going to try and decide which one we think is the best. Now, I must always repeat, this is what I believe, this is what I think, this is the system I use. If you do not like that, if you disagree with me, please feel free to, but it is what you think. There is, in my view, no absolute right or no absolute wrong in this. It is just what I believe. If you don't understand this system, if you have questions about seasonal heroes, please go back. There is a whole playlist called Heroes, and you can see when Season 1, base level heroes, Season 2, Season 3, etc., and get an idea of why we do it this way. So, to start off, we have 6 new heroes for Season 4. Desert Storm, Soaring Hawk, the Brave, Jade Eagle, Immortal Guardian, and Divine Arrow. 6 of them look very nice. I like the names. The pictures are okay, though this one looks like a different type of graphics to everyone else, which is a bit odd. It just looks a bit strange. Now, 3 of these heroes are focused on archers. That is Divine Arrow, Immortal Guardian, and Jade Eagle are archer-focused heroes. The Brave is Cavalry, so he will probably end up being my favorite since I like Cavalry overall. And Soaring Hawk and Desert Storm are focused on footmen. Let's have a quick look through each of them now. So Desert Storm is focused on the footman, has not bad range of 5, 3 and 5, so that's 5 on the first one, 3 on the second skill and 5 on the last skill. The in-between skills are focused on resistance, might and resistance, and then obviously, as every hero does, he has Awaken as well, which increases the amount of legions and your HP. In terms of the skills, nothing too crazy. So basically, when heroes leading footmen on turn 1, 3 and 5 have all enemy squads enter Cursed, Burning and Poisoned, and dealing 15, 20%, 25% damage on corresponding turns lasting till the end of the battle. That's not bad, actually. I didn't notice. That's actually quite a good one, because that is an actual skill that is always active. Yeah, so there's no chance. So let me actually just stick a little notation next to that one. I didn't not notice that. So this skill is always active on turns 1, 3 and 5. Okay, so it is not, usually they might say a 20% chance to do all of this stuff, but this is active on turns 1, 3 and 5, and all enemy squads, which is 3 random enemy squads, will enter the Cursed, Burning and Poison. Okay, so these will all affect them, and dealing 15, 20% and 25% damage on corresponding turns lasting till the end of the battle. That's not a bad skill at all. I quite like that, and since it's a range of 5, that's going to all reach into everything and be fantastic. So that's a nice one. Second skill here again is not too crazy. When heroes leading footmen on the beginning of each turn's 5, on the beginning of turn 5, 2 random friendly squads will recover units each turn, 32.5% recovery rate. The max level for that is 84%. And again, this is one of those always on skills, is it not? I think it is. This is just, how did I miss that as well? This is basically, it is always on turn 5, you will have this happen. So that's not a bad thing either. Range of 2, and this will help our friendly squads. And then this one again is another 100% chance, so this will always happen, to deal 97.5% damage to an enemy squad within range, interrupting channeling skills, which is a fantastic thing. And the max of this is 243% damage, and it interrupts channeling skills. So I like this one as well. To be honest, all of those are really quite good. Really quite good. I'm definitely going to put I'm going to put this one nearly top of my list so far, without a doubt. So that's Desert Storm, who does the footmen. Let's have a look at the other footman person, which should be bing, Soaring Hawk, of course. Let's have a quick look in here. Okay, so Soaring Hawk basically deals with footmen as well. Has ranges of 3, 0, and 2 on the skills. And the other skills are focused on resistance, might, and resistance. And as always, skill number 6 is the awakened skill, which increases HP and troop amount. First skill here, not too crazy. 40% chance to deal 76% damage to 2 random enemy squads. So basically a kind of a pretty standard skill. Making their might minus 20%, lasting 2 turns. Nothing too special about that, and the range is only 3, so it's an okay skill, but it's nothing too crazy. This one though gets a bit interesting. So hero squad has a 100% chance to counter attack when basic attacked, dealing 50% damage to attacking source. So that's not a bad one, because again, this is 100%, so this is always active, so to speak. This has a range of 0, and it will target one random friendly squad. Okay, so this is if somebody else is attacked, this will counter-attack. This is not a bad skill either, and it is a little bit special again, because this is one of these always-on type skills. And then the last one here is, for the first 2 turns, all friendly squads take less 12% damage. After turn 3, hero squads recover 12% units when dealing damage. Okay, so for the first 2 turns, all friendly squads take less 12% damage, and then after turn 3, hero squads recover 12%. This gets up to a max of 30 and 30. So this is a good one because again, it is always on, but the max of it is only 30%. So it's not amazing. There are other better ones out there, similar to kind of this. So yeah, I mean, in terms of the footmen, I think the desert guy is a lot better than Soaring Hawk. So I'm only going to give Soaring Hawk a 1 star for this round. Then let's have a look at the Cavalry Dude. See what I mean? The graphics look slightly different. It's like the hair or something is odd. Anyway, Cavalry Dude has ranges of 4, 5, and 3. And then the other skills are focused on resistance, might, and might again. So this is the only one that has resistance, might. Excuse me, burping out of the season 4 group. So that's kind of a little bit interesting. Having a quick look at the actual skills. First 3 turns of the battle, 35% chance each turn to disarm 2 enemy squads within range. The range is 4, so that's actually really good. If this guy's on the front row, or even on the second, he has a very good chance. And this is, again, it's always... Oh, no. So this is a 35% chance. So that's not great. Okay, so like the other guys had these 100% chance, these always active skills. This guy, again, we're going back to, there's a chance that he can do it. Maxing it up gets you an 80% chance, which is... It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. Second skill here is... 1 turn prep, 12% to silence 2 random enemy squads within range, lasting 2 turns. The range is 5 on this. I mean, again, it's not bad, but it does take a 1 turn prep, and it's only 12% chance to silence. It does last 2 turns, which is good, but maxing it out only makes it a 30% chance. It's not a great skill. I'm not so keen on that one. And then the final skill here is in battle, enemy squad's might is minus 15%, resistance is minus 15%, combat speed is minus 10, damage taken is plus 5, and damage dealing is minus 5. This is 100%. When enemy squads might... Yeah. So this is one of those that is always active. Which is quite a not bad skill. When you max it out, you've got 60% taken away from enemy's might, and this is targeting 3 random enemy squads. However, the range is only 3, so that means it's going to have to be at the front row for the brave in order for that to work the best. I'm going to give that 2 stars just because that last skill I think is pretty good. But the other 2 skills were pretty poor, so maybe we're actually only talking about 1.5 star here. And then let's look at the 3 heroes focused on archers: Divine Arrow, Immortal, and Jade Eagle. Let's start with Divine Arrow here. First skills are ranges of 4, 4, and 2. and the other skills are focused on resistance, might, and resistance. First skill here is pretty standard, 25% chance to deal 81.5% damage to 2 random enemy squads within range. Disarming them for 1 turn is a nice addition, but again, this is kind of basic skill, and if you max it out, the chance is still only 25%, so it doesn't become too great there. Second one here is 30% chance to link 2 random enemy squads within range. When one squad takes damage, the other will also take 7% damage as well, lasting 2 turns. That's a kind of interesting skill. The range is 4, so if this guy was in the first or second position, then this could affect the first or second enemy squads. But again, the chance, if you max it out, it only gets to a 30% chance still. It doesn't improve that. And the damage only goes up to 25% on the enemy squad that is then linked. So yeah, it's like, oh, it's okay, but it's not amazing. And then the final one here is in battle, and this is one of those active, always on skills. In battle, all friendly archers have splash status. Basic attacking can also deal 22% damage to 2 back row enemy squads. This is not a bad one. So basically, splash status is, you know, you can hit other people, you know, like a splash potion or something like that. Often hits other targets. Basic attacking can also deal 22%. By maxing this out, you get to 40%. It's not bad, but because it's an always-on skill, it's 100% active all the time. There's no chance it'll happen. It just happens. It's not a bad skill. So I think that'll give us 2 stars for Divine, I believe. In my head, that's the way I feel. And then let's pop back to the last 2 now. Hurry up, game. We've got Immortal Guardian. Immortal Guardian, it looks like one of those. It's got a face mask on. Immortal Guardian has a range of 0, 5, and 2. And the other skills are based on resistance, might, and might. The 0 skill, and this is the interesting thing. So Immortal Guardian has 100%. So all of its skills are kind of always active. So here, hero squad damage is minus 12%. Yeah, and this is just always. So you can max this out and it gets to 30%, which is not too bad. It's not too bad at all. Here, in battle, when 2 random enemy squads within range cast combat skills or basic attack, deal minus 2.3% damage to them. This effect stacks a minimum of 8 times. Okay, so basically, this one is always on as well. And so when somebody else is within range and they're trying to use their combat skills or just basic attack, you're going to be able to affect them, and you can stack this up to 8 times. Now, if you max this out, it only goes to minus 5%. You can still stack it to 8 times. So this is a generally pretty good skill, especially because the range is up to 5. So meaning this guy in the back or even in the front is going to be affecting these people constantly, which is not a bad skill at all. And then finally here we've got the first 3 turns, all friendly units damage taken is reduced by 11%, and there's a 50% chance to recover units when taking damage, plus 18%. So if we have a look here, when we max it, we can, for the first 3 turns, all friendly units damage is reduced by 20%, which is quite nice, and there's a 50% chance to recover up to 45% of units when taking damage. But this only has a range of 2, so you're going to have to stick this right at the front for this to kind of be, in the middle, to be effective around everybody. So it's a pretty good skill, and it's one of those always active things. So Immortal, I'd say, is going to get a 2-star from me. And then finally, we've got Jade. Excusez-moi. Jade Eagle here. Bang, like a so. So Jade has probably the longest range of everybody. It's 5, 5, and 5. Focused on resistance, might. It has this skill, which is, you know, not like you have these leadership skills, which, you know, they always say effective when stationed in the training ground. Yeah, these 3 that we always kind of skip over. But this one is slightly different. It is effective when stationed in the training ground, but it not only increases might, it increases damage dealt and reduces damage taken. So that's a pretty cool thing and quite unique to this hero. Definitely within the season 4 heroes, we haven't seen that, and I would have to check back whether we've seen that before in other seasonal heroes, but that's quite unique to this one. In terms of the other skills, they're kind of basic here. There's a 40% chance to attack twice. Each attack randomly selects 2 enemy squads and deals 7% damage, which, yeah, is good. And when you max it out, it deals up to 142% damage. So it's not too bad. And the range is 5, so that's all right. The last other one here is Bit complicated. 1 turn prep, a 30% chance to deal 122% damage to all enemy squads, making enemy footmen cannot recover units. Enemy cavalry combat skill damage is reduced by 50%, and enemy archers are disarmed, lasting 1 turn. This is interesting because it affects specifically every type of unit. And does a specific type of thing to them. And by maxing it out, we're up to 310% damage to all enemy squads. It is 1 turn prep, but it has a range of 5. I'm going to say that's probably my favorite skill out of the 6 that these guys have. I just like the way it's kind of, it's going to reduce the cavalry by this, I like it. It's a good counter to lots of different types of attacking or defending. And then lastly, here we have, which is 2 turn prep. This is a range of 5, 60% chance to deal 350% massive damage to 2 random enemy squads within range. It's not bad, and the range is 5, so this guy could reach forward from the back row or from the front row. If you max it out, it's 863% massive damage. I haven't seen damage like that before either. That seems quite unique to this skill. Again, I'd have to double check, and maybe somebody could correct me down below, but massive damage is rare in terms of when it pops up in a skill, so this is not bad at all. Ooh, I don't know. For me, that's almost 2.5 stars for the Jade Eagle there. So, lots of interesting skills there. There's a couple of ones that are particularly unique, I think, but nothing that is absolutely blowing my mind. However, they are all very good skills. I might be going, oh, this one's a bit boring. But in terms of looking back over the other seasonal heroes, etc., each one of these skills is quite good. It's, one of the better skills you can have. And imagine maxing all of these things out. They would be incredibly powerful, which I guess is the point of Seasonal 4 heroes. They should probably be the strongest in the game. I'm going to say that for me, if I could focus on one of them, and I might eventually have the time, the effort, the hero fragments, or the orange tickets to be able to focus on one of them, I would probably be choosing Desert Storm as mine. Now, obviously, Desert Storm leads footmen, and I'm more of a cavalry person, so the Brave would be kind of useful. But just looking at it objectively as probably the best hero out of these 6, I'm going to say that's Desert Storm for me, or possibly Jade Eagle. The Brave's alright, but if I was going to set up having a one of each type, so a footman, an archer, and a cavalry, obviously I would have Desert Storm as my footmen, Jade Eagle as my archers, and the Brave as my cavalry. I think that would be a good setup indeed. So, that's my 2 cents on Season 4 heroes. Let me know down below what you think and which ones you like. Let me know, if you disagree or agree. As I said, this is my opinion based on kind of how I think about the game and how I play the game. But I'm always happy to hear somebody else's opinion. If, again, I say you don't understand, well, why have you got Season 4 and I can't see Season 4? Please watch through the videos, go back, look at the playlist for Rise of Empires Heroes, and learn about why you could have this and not have this, and, all of those kinds of things. Other than that, thanks so much for watching. Click the like button, subscribe if you can, and I'll catch you again soon. Cheers, guys. Bye.